In this video, we will walk you through the Sendai Framework Monitor system, an initial setup of your country page. The setup will include creating institutions and users, setting up disaggregation categories, and inputting metadata. While some parts of this video are most relevant to users that play the role of coordinator, it will be valuable for users of all roles to understand how the monitor is set up. If you are the designated Sendai Framework focal point for your country, you would have received an email invitation from UNISDR to join the Sendai Framework Monitor system on March 1, 2018. The focal point will often take on the role of coordinator of the monitor system. The link from the email will grant you access to the system after creating a password and providing some personal information. You can then grant access to other people in your country from different institutions. For this video, we will use the Sendai Framework Monitor training page to show you the steps for initial setup. The training page is identical to the Sendai Monitor, except for this yellow band that will indicate that you are in the training platform. If you would like to use the training page to follow along the tutorials, please contact your National Sendai Framework focal point for login details. Once you log into the monitor, you will see this homepage with the current status of reporting against the global targets. It indicates progress of the country for the year. The icons on the top right-hand corner include a mail icon that will notify you of any correspondence and a log out button. You can also choose your language from 6 UN languages. As the coordinator, the first step for monitor setup is to create institutions. On the main page, click on the button Admin. Here you can add the various ministries, departments, and agencies that will participate in data collection and reporting. For example, we will add the National Disaster Management Office and Ministry of Health here. Once you have created institutions, scroll down to add users. Users will act on behalf of each institution you have just created and will play different roles. Refer to video 2.3 of Module 2 to distinguish between the roles of coordinator, contributor, validator, and observer. Click on New User and fill in title, first and last name, email, and the role or roles that the user will have. Users can have multiple roles on the Sendai Monitor system. It is important to have created institutions first, as you need institutions to select before being able to create users. Click Save and continue to create all users involved in your country reporting in this way. Coordinators can come back at any time to add more institutions and users. The next step for the coordinator is to assign responsibilities to the various institutions. Hover over the button Global Targets and select Setup. On this page, you will be able to assign responsible institutions for each target or each individual indicator. The owner of the data will be the focal point for that target or indicator to validate the respective data, while you can also add multiple institutions as additional contributors of the respective data. For example, the owner of the data on deaths and missing persons for target A may be the NDMO, and a contributor may be the Ministry of Health. In the Global Targets setup, the coordinator should also add relevant disaggregation categories for indicators. Starting with disaggregation by hazard, you can click on the button Select Hazards for a list of different options. While most hazard types are included in this list, you can click Add More to type in the hazard type. If you want to delete a hazard disaggregation category, click on the X and confirm the removal. For most disaggregation, we highly encourage you to use the list of predefined disaggregation categories. For example, for agricultural crops, clicking on Select Agricultural Crop will give you an extensive list of crop types that you can disaggregate by. By selecting crops that are relevant for your country, the system will automatically input information on average size, element unit, units, number of workers, information on equipment and infrastructure, and average damage ratio for each crop. This information is from other sources and is sufficient for reporting purposes. You can choose to manually enter a crop type if the crop you are looking for is not available in the predefined list. However, you will have to locate and enter all of this necessary information for the system to be able to calculate loss for the manually added crop type. It is not necessary to set up every disaggregation category. Simply focus on making disaggregation categories for data that you know is collected in your country, so that relevant institutions are able to report the disaggregated data. Once you have created disaggregation categories, they will show up in the disaggregation option for related indicators. After these steps are completed by the coordinator, data entry for metadata and indicators can begin. When you begin data entry, it is important to ensure that you are in the correct reporting year. The year should reflect the year of the data and not the year that you are inputting data. For example, if you are inputting data collected from the calendar year 2017 for the 2018 reporting cycle, then the reporting year selected is 2017. Make sure that the reporting year is correct every time you log into the system, as the selected year may not reset. Hover over the Global Targets button and click on Global Reporting. The first step in data reporting for the coordinator is to fill in the metadata. The metadata is your country's basic demographic and socioeconomic information, including population, gross domestic product, and average number of households. This information is needed to calculate some of the global indicators. The monitor is now ready for all users to participate in data entry. Select the different targets on the side menu to begin data entry. As you enter data, values are saved automatically without the need for a Save button. The information icon for each indicator will give you additional information on what reporting for each indicator entails. The SDG icon means that data for this indicator is linked to the SDG reporting system. If you are a contributor and have questions on data entry, or for example, need the coordinator to add a disaggregation category, you can send a public message to your country's users with this comment button.